Once upon a time, there was a shepherd and he had a farm. And on that farm, he had loads and loads of sheep and lambs. So, what had happened was, very close by was a wolf. And all the wolf wanted to do was eat the lambs. I mean, they were small enough, so he wanted to eat them. But he couldn't do that because the shepherd kept very, very close watch on his sheep and his lambs, and he had dogs as well, so obviously the wolf couldn't do that. So the first night the wolf planned and then went onto the farm, and as soon as the lambs saw him, they started screaming. Obviously they were clearly very afraid of him, so they started screaming, and the shepherd came out and tried to shoot the wolf, and the wolf ran off. So he thought of a clever plan. Well, he cannot go as a wolf because obviously the lambs will not follow him. They are clearly scared of him. So what he did was he stole a sheep's covering that was discarded somewhere, an old sheep's covering. So he stole it and then he put it on, and he had another plan to go back to the farm. So as soon as he got to the farm in the middle of the night, the lambs saw him and they were so excited because they thought he was another sheep. So they followed him. Moral of the story was, well, he took the lambs home and he ate them. So anyway, if this were the story of a human being, it would be the story of the great pretender. And I'm sure everybody has come across one or two of those people. We're going to go through the details of how to spot them, but they are also called wolf in sheep's clothing. So anyway, how do you spot them? Because I'm sure that at least everybody has come across somebody that can be referred to as a wolf in sheep's clothing. Anyway, have you ever met somebody and you sang their praises like, oh my god, like they seem so perfect? I mean, it could be a relationship, it could be friendship, it could be family, it could be whatever, but it seems so perfect at first. But like a year down the line, you realize that you don't even know this person at all. Like they would do something that would make you realize, okay, you were wrong all the way. Then sometimes you actually feel like, how did this person deceive me for so long, like so many years? I never saw it. The thing is that yes, you did see it, but you brushed it off because of the other qualities the person possessed. But here's the thing, so that it's easier to spot them next time, and most of the time what happens is that before you actually realize what's going on, the damage has been done. So, and this might be like years apart. So first point to spotting the great pretender, aka the wolf in sheep's clothing, is when you first meet them, they're really, really charming and hypnotic. Like, what does this mean? Like, if it's a woman, you just notice like she's everything you've ever been looking for. Literally. If it's a man, you seem to be saying all the right things. Like, don't be deceived here. They've spent time learning human behavior, so most of the time they know exactly what to say. Do you understand? They seem to always be saying the right things and doing the right things. It's just really a bit too perfect. Though I think the best way to spot them, like, it might be a little too much, a little too perfect. But you know what they say, right? If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Point two, master of manipulation. They're so great at faking emotions. I mean, this is the only way these people can get away with stuff for years and they go undetected. Because, you know, even the signs are like ever so subtle. They're really, really subtle signs. They're not things that are like in your face. So you just have to like be more aware. Do you understand? When you're around those people, because it's really, really hard to spot them. So it's like they can fake emotions like crazy. I think the best way to do it, because I mean, I'm going to go from my experience, like, this person will cry on cue. Like, when they've done something wrong and they're trying to apologize to you, like, obviously it's fake apology, but this person will just cry on cue, like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then after you said okay, like, you notice that a second later the tears just dries out, like the tears goes away, and I'm like, okay, how did you get over that very quickly? Because if you're crying, right? Point three, the wolf in sheep's clothing is a pathological liar. Oh my god, you know, like these people that would look you right in the eye and lie to your face. Like, okay, for instance, let's say you caught like a pretender in a lie. For instance, maybe they went for a party and they're trying to tell you, and you're accusing them like, okay, you went for that party. Oh no, but you don't need to lie to me, what's the big deal? And they would look at you like it's not even a big deal. But they're such pathological liars that they just have to lie about it. Do you understand? They're just so used to, because they just want control, or whatever answer they give is going to be useful for something else or whatever. These people will look at you like in all seriousness and lie to your face like, I swear it, I was never anywhere near that party. They actually threw the party. it was in their house. But they will tell you, oh, I swear I wasn't even anywhere near there. I wasn't even in town. I swear to you, I do this, I do that. I don't know why somebody's talking like that, like they're swearing and everything, and you're looking at them in the face and you're thinking, okay, come on, this person can't be lying. Do you understand? Even if somebody else says they saw them there and you're like, this person was swearing, okay, maybe someone that looks like them. Point 4, they're so self-centered. Okay, like I'm going to use myself as an example, right? Okay, so in my experience, like they're really self-centered. Like it's all about me. They really don't. It's all very subtle, don't get me wrong, like because the pretender would pretend like they actually care about you. They'll pretend like, oh, you're wearing it together, oh, don't worry, oh, this one, oh, it's the two of us, oh, nah, it's no. They're very self-centered. In my experience, what had happened was, I think it was a day when, you know, I was with somebody, this aka a pretender. Anyway, so like between both of us, we didn't have like any cash or whatever it is. So we're like, okay, you know what? We're just gonna eat whatever it is like for lunch, and we're not gonna have a fancy lunch day or whatever it is. So okay, like a work colleague, right? So so we had lunch, and in my head, okay, we're in it together, right? There's no money, and let's just eat whatever it is we can afford for today, no fancy lunch. And this person had gone like to a corner to have an elaborate lunch and pretended like, oh yeah, shared mine with me, by the way, and then went to a corner to have another elaborate lunch and pretended like nothing happened. The way to spot them is they rarely ever apologize. It's not like they never do it, because whenever they do it, it's only because they want something from you. So basically, the only way they get out of this is when you do accuse them of something, not accuse, but like, okay, something happened and you're trying to tell the person about it, like, oh, you did this, I don't like it. They will twist everything back on you. Another point is the inability to form intimate relationships or friendships. Like, for instance, they can't do it because, like, for somebody that is a pretender, right? People are objects to them, right? So they only use people for what they can get out of them. So like in case you can make them famous, or you can bring them fame, or there's something they can get from you, you know, do you understand? That's the only time they're really close to you. That's the only kind of friendships they want. Do you understand? Like, do you understand? So it's when they can always get something from you. That's when they want you as a friend. Next point is their inability to have genuine remorse. Now, I mean, what I would say about this is, like, they won't do. The whole point of somebody being a wolf in sheep's clothing is because, you know, they're bad people pretending to be good, so they're obviously going to do something bad to you. Like, if they have any genuine remorse, they won't be doing that to you, because trust me, most of the time for this sort of people, you don't find out the damage that they've done to you for years. You don't even know. You just wake up one day and you find out that, oh, you've been dealing with somebody you never knew. Another way to support a great pretender is that they're highly materialistic. Oh my goodness, like they would do anything for material things, anything. Like, you know how they say money is the root of all evil? Like, okay, so that's not what it is. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. So somebody that is highly materialistic and would do anything for material things is the root of all evil, if that makes any sense. Another point is that they move from one relationship to another. They can never stay long. Like, if you see somebody that is a pretender, right, before one relationship is over, there in the next one, in the next one, in the next one, in the next one, and like, oh, what happens with that? Oh, it's over. I'll meet my new. Do you understand? Because there was never really any real. Everything was superficial. Everything was fake. Another way to spot them is gaslighting. I'm trying to rush through this now because I think the time is like reading. So gaslighting would be, okay, for instance, I have to give an example. I don't remember what the definition is anymore. So anyway, something like, for instance, somebody tells you, okay, so let's meet at 2 o'clock at so-so restaurant at this, that, and you get there and you're calling them and they're nowhere to be found. And then you see them like a week later and you're like, but you said we should meet at that restaurant and I was there waiting for you. Like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I said we should look to meet at that restaurant. Oh yeah, that's what I said. No, I didn't. It makes you, gaslighting makes you question your own sanity. Like, you start to question yourself, like, but I thought I heard you say this. You're like, no, I did not. You heard wrong, obviously. You must have heard me wrong. That's not what I said. Divide and conquer. That's another point. Okay, so what does this mean? Like, this is a strategy used by pretenders. So what they do is they find out about your past, obviously, because they've told you all sort of sub stories about themselves, so you trust them and you tend to just blab and talk to them about everything. So they find out about your past, they find out your secrets, and then they start to use it against you. So for instance, you tell them, oh, you shouldn't have done that. They say, oh, I think it's because of what you went through in the past. That's why you're so paranoid. Don't you think so? Like, maybe that's why you're really paranoid, because it's not like I've actually done anything. They've done everything wrong. They have, but they would use whatever it is you've told them, they'll use it back against you. So don't you think it's because that guy cheated on you? Maybe that's why you're so paranoid. Maybe that's why you think every man cheats. Oh, they're cheating, but they will tell you. One thing I can tell you for a fact is that the pretender is going around to discredit you in front of the people you know and the people they know. So, which brings me to my last point and my final point, is that they will secretly discredit you. So they would have gone around to everybody you know to tell them, oh, you know that she's this, she's that, she's that. And this is only, it's like a defense mechanism. What they do this is so that when you do figure them out later in future, you're unable to really tell anyone. Nobody will believe you and everybody will believe them because they've been complaining all the while. So whilst you don't know, they're secretly discrediting you in front of people. Anyway, so these are the tips to spot a great pretender or wolf in sheep's clothing. Like I always say, it's not by doing one of those things that makes somebody a pretender. It's when they have so many of those points over time, then it's easier to spot before a lot of damage is done in your life. So do have a blessed week. Have a fantastic week ahead. I love you all. Bye. Namaste.